Well, you can still see behind me a very large police presence here on the campus of Utah Valley University. And no sooner did the...
We just started getting word just a couple of moments ago that Charlie Kirk has been shot. We have very few details.
A powerful voice in American conservative politics has been silenced. On September 10th, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at a Turning Point USA event in Utah. His death has now reached far beyond U.S. borders, with Russian President Vladimir Putin calling it proof of America's deep internal divide. The tragedy in Utah. The shooting took place at Utah Valley University. Prosecutors say Tyler Robinson, just 22 years old, opened fire on Kirk during a public event. According to court filings, Robinson faces multiple charges: aggravated murder, felony firearm discharge, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. Investigators say Robinson told his romantic partner that he acted because he had enough of Kirk's hatred. His mother later told police that over the past year, her son had become more political, leaning sharply to the left. Charging documents note that he had become more pro-gay and pro-trans, a stance very different from his parents' views. Republican leaders immediately called the attack politically motivated. The image of Kirk, gunned down while speaking to supporters, became a flashpoint in the debate over political violence in America. Putin's reaction in Sochi. Only weeks later, Vladimir Putin addressed the killing at a foreign policy forum in Sochi. Standing before international experts, he called it a heinous crime and described Kirk as a hero who died, defending conservative values. Putin then drew a striking comparison. He likened Kirk to Michael Gloss, the son of a senior CIA official who left the United States, joined the Russian military, and was killed in Ukraine last year. He gave his life while defending those values as a Russian soldier, and Kirk gave his life while fighting for the same values in the United States, Putin said. The Russian leader insisted that Kirk's assassination reflected a deep split within America. Evidence that ideological divides now shape violence across U.S. politics. His framing presented Russia as aligned with American conservatives in a global cultural struggle. Russia's narrative. The Kremlin quickly amplified this line. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, claimed on X that political crimes and assassinations have been carried out lately by a variety of left-wing liberal scum who support Banderite Kiev. He went further, saying, maybe it's time for the MAGA team to realize that by supporting Ukraine, they're supporting murderers. Putin also revealed that Gloss had been posthumously awarded a medal. That medal, he said, was given to Trump envoy Steve Witkoff during a visit to Moscow. For Putin, the story of Gloss and Kirk connected Russia's fight in Ukraine with America's own ideological battles. The CIA, asked about Gloss, issued a restrained statement. It called his death a private family matter and not a national security issue, while adding, the entire CIA family is heartbroken for their loss. Trump speaks at the funeral. At Kirk's funeral, Donald Trump delivered a eulogy that mixed humor, reflection, and grief. That's where I disagreed with Charlie, he said, referring to Kirk's efforts to persuade opponents rather than fight them. I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry, Erica, Trump said to Kirk's widow as the crowd laughed. He went on, Charlie's angry. Looking down, he's angry at me now. He wasn't interested in demonizing anyone. He was interested in persuading everyone to the ideas and principles he believed were good, right, and true. Utah leaders respond. Back in Utah, Governor Spencer Cox cautioned residents about disinformation surrounding the murder. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation, he warned. Our adversaries want violence. We have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those. Putin on global issues. While addressing Kirk's death, Putin did not stop there. At the same Sochi forum, he turned his focus to wider foreign policy issues. He praised Donald Trump for his role in Russia-Ukraine peace efforts, pointing to their August summit in Alaska as productive. He even said he felt comfortable working with Trump. It was good that we made an attempt to search for and find possible ways to settle the Ukrainian crisis, Putin said. But his warnings to Washington were sharp. He stated that if the U.S. decided to send long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Kyiv, it would mark a qualitatively new stage of escalation. Such a move, he warned, would seriously damage relations between Russia and the U.S. However, he insisted it would not change the outcome of the war. It will certainly not change the balance of force, he said, stressing that Russia's military continues to make advances. Energy and security tensions. Putin also issued warnings over energy disputes. He criticized Western nations for seizing Russian oil, tankers, calling such actions piracy. He cited the detention of an aging vessel off the French coast, which French President Emmanuel Macron linked to Russia's so-called shadow fleet, Yzer Staris, as an attempt to distract from France's domestic challenges. The risk of confrontation will seriously increase, Putin said. And when asked about drone flights over Denmark, Putin dismissed the accusations that Russia was behind them. He described those claims as NATO's effort to stir tensions and push defense budgets higher, the global image of America. For foreign audiences, Putin's comments linked the domestic tragedy of Charlie Kirk's killing to broader questions about America's stability. His narrative suggested that the U.S. is consumed by ideological conflict at home and therefore weakened abroad. This framing matters. Allies may see instability in U.S. politics as a reason for concern. Adversaries may see it as opportunity. Either way, the death of Charlie Kirk has become more than a domestic crime story. It has been pulled into the global arena. For Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, and for the many supporters he left behind, the focus is on remembering his mission. For America's leaders, the focus is on preventing this tragedy from repeating. The murder of Charlie Kirk has raised questions that extend far beyond Utah or even U.S. politics. Is political violence becoming a new normal? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.